Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. All right, guys. Fun day, fun day. AMD was real fun today. Didn't do much in the middle of the day apart from AMD. There were a few news plays that worked out. One scratch loser. We're going to discuss all that. SPY was going sideways, then it broke out middle of the day. I didn't personally trade anything on SPY QQQ, but I'm going to try recap. So we'll discuss all that. Before I start, just quick introduction to anybody new who is new to me, new to our community, new to my YouTube, or new to my Twitter. All these teachings and trading ideas and teachings are mostly from my community, or any idea that I share on Twitter, or I share with you guys in previous YouTube videos. And all these teachings and trade ideas recaps are from there. We use a repeatable trading system. Thousands of traders across the world use my trading system to trade consistently. We have repeatable trading setups. It's like our playbook. If our setup shows up based upon a certain criteria, we trade it. If our setup doesn't show up, we don't take an entry. We try to take entry where is best risk to best reward based upon our system. System is how you trade, setups is what you trade. Every morning we have game plan. We have a game plan for every morning we have this game plan for the day. Based upon that game plan, we trade. We create a watch list where we go through all the earning plays, upgrades, downgrades, market plays. Market plays are the plays we do every day. We have the support and resistance pivot, and we have a general bias or a general plan in the pre-market, which can change based upon the system after market opens. We do all this work so our traders in our community have the game plan, have the watch list, and they can trade consistently with these setups. Try to share this game plan 15 to 20 minutes before the market open. In addition to that, we also have something which is we call day 2, day 3 setups. That's a repeatable day 2, day 3 strategy. There was CELH was a decent play from the day 2, day 3 strategy. We'll recap that as well, and we shared these levels as well. Then we have our daily levels for SPY, QQQ, IWM, Apple, Microsoft, AMD, NVDA, Netflix. These are the plays which we trade every day, which are based upon the market. If market is bullish, they will work. If market is bearish, they will follow the bearish trend. So these are the levels which we also provide to the community every day. And based upon all that, we're ready for the day. I'm on the voice first few hours of the market, and usually I'm on the voice if there's something important. I was on the voice for AMD sell the news trade, guiding everybody, but most of my comments are in the alerts feed of our community, where I will show you the timestamped guidance on any trade, that idea that triggered that I gave to the community to trade. In addition to that, we have our hundreds of traders on the trading floor sharing ideas, trade ideas all day, keeping track of everything that's moving in the stock market, so we can find opportunities to make some profit. Whenever most of our trades, we try to keep our losers small, winners big. That's our focus, and that's how we trade. Anyways, that's all the introduction. In our community, which you see left hand side, we have all the scanners, news bots. We have 4 or 5 option scanners. We have stock scanners. We have audio news alerts. We have support resistance alerts. We have a bunch of other stuff in our community. It's a one-stop shop for any professional day trader or a swing trader who can join the community and trade with the community of like-minded people. So anyways, that's the quick introduction. So what we do, if you want to know more about me, go to ripstereducation.com. That's my free website. It tells about what I have done for the community for free for many years, and then we have our private community, which stand@tradegroup.com. So you can take a look there as well. Anyways, that's a good introduction. Let's start. So let's start with AMD today, right? So what was AMD? So AMD has an AI event today at 12 EST. The CEO of the company, she was going to present, and AI has been running into that event. You see that AI has been running, and this was actually a trade idea that I gave on the Twitter from here. So it has been running on to from that into this event. So today we came into this event, and AMD was already bearish in the morning. So it was not a long in the morning as well. So we were semis were weak and AMD was a relative weakness. AMD was showing relative weakness. There was no long in AMD today. It kind of pushed a little bit. You see here, it kind of pushed a little bit right before the earnings, right? So right before the earnings. But you know that if AMD is not going over this area, then it's not going to push. It's not going to push. And I did a poll in the community just to see what everyone thinks. 68% of the community trader thought that we are going to have sell the news, and that's right. Because if everybody's buying it in anticipation of some big news, and there's no big news, guess what? Everybody's going to sell. And they want to take profit because it was running into this event. We already knew this event is coming. So you can see the volume, right? Look at the volume that traded today. It was a crazy 75 million volume. It was 180% of the volume that traded today. So that was definitely a lot of crazy volume that was traded today on AMD. So just before the news, we went through the levels. We talked about that. If we're going to push, how far can we push, right? So I talked about on the voice that if something good is on this event, we can push to the gap fill to 177, right? And if it's something bad, then it can pull back to this level. How did I find this level? Because this was a previous breakout. You can see here, right? And there is also 2021 EMA, which is basically our MTF cloud. So this region is area of interest. This region is area of support, and we already had this plan before the event started. Now when the event started, it started to go, but it couldn't get over this MTF cloud. And as soon as it started to break the clouds, you could take a short. Based upon this risk, because this is your risk, right? 171.63, kind of a dollar, more than dollar. This area is your risk, and our system, when our system breaks 34.50, that's a short. And you also have a 1 hour multi-time frame cloud there. That's the EMAs. So they are also rejecting. So you take a short there. So that was my personal trade as well. Today was pretty high confidence there. I'll show you where my entry was. Let me see if I can find those. Yeah. So I had a bunch of shares that I shorted at 170.80s. As soon as I saw these rejections, I tried to position myself, and I tried to actually add into that position as it was fading down. I think I covered a lot here at 168. So that was the short. But when it breaks 168, then it's just going to fade much more, right? Because it did not bounce from the low of the day, then that's going to fade much more. So how we did that was we were watching the tape. I was actually on the voice, guiding everybody through what we are looking at the tape. There were a lot of sellers, but a lot of buyers, but the sellers were wiping off the buyers. There was a big buyer on 165. So I think our first target was 165, right? And it is bouncing there, but it even gave 165 later. Something to realize here is our system never gave us a long until end of the day. So whatever we were trying to long, we did try to do a C minus bounce right here, and didn't work. Get out right away, because it's low probability. It's low probability because it's under the 512 clouds. So when it's low probability, you don't long it. It can go much lower, right? So it can. We already talked about these levels, daily levels. These levels. There was a level at 165. Then my next target was eventually 162. So that was our target on AMD was 162. Let me see if I can show you that here. So target was ultimately that 162 here, one MTF 162 frying pan. You can see everybody was trading there, right? So we were all looking at this 162 level in the community. So you can see that we were trading actively on that, on that AMD sell the news. The community was nicely coming together, because we have the news, but then you don't blindly short it. You look at the system. Your system is telling you downtrend line break. Your system is telling you it's bearish, and it's not holding any support level, so you short it, right? Initial risk is there. If you short right here, then your risk is this level of the reclaim, resistance becomes support. So yeah, so today I was doing this live commentary on tape reading. As you can see, Alice commented on that. So that the live tape reading helped us. We faded it from this 168 to 165. Didn't hold too much after 165, but it still did fade much more because. But luckily, there was no long. We saved us money going crazy long on this because our system tells us when to go long. Because when it is sell the news, every buyer who buys the dip, he's running. Again, I go back to the daily charts, right? Everyone who has bought it's running for the woods. You see that, right? The volume. Look at the volume, right? It was being bought up, but everybody bailed. So that's how we traded AMD. I showed you my entries as well. It was a beautiful trade in the community. There was a lot of flow right into 15 minutes. A lot of flow hit, like a lot of calls, hundreds of thousands of calls hit. I scalped a little bit there with that C minus, and then it curled 512s, basically from 163s to 164.50s. Nothing crazy, just a small scalp. Tomorrow we will be watching. If it pushes over the 3450 clouds, then we can probably long it. Closer to this 162, this area, better the long. If it breaks this area, then we have to step away. But I hope we hold this 162 levels on AMD, so we can use that to trade it to the upside, of course, depending upon the market. But anyways, guys, remember, these are the sell the news. They're always do not blindly buy anything in the event, especially if it has a run up into the event. We have traded a lot of sell the news events in the past. That's why they say buy the rumors, sell the news. It is in fact very valid. You can make a lot of money if you follow it with discipline. It doesn't work all the time, but if it's crazy run up, it does definitely work, like AMD was. So definitely use the technicals whenever you're trying to trade sell the news setups. I think we did it on NVDA in the past, and Tesla has done the sell the news many times. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but so yeah, that was a good review, hopefully, to how to trade sell the news. So next time, do not blindly load anything up thinking it's an event. Even if we were going to, we would have longed. If it broke out of this area, we would have longed. Maybe it would have been buy the news, but generally it's a sell the news. That's what I discussed yesterday and in the community as well. 70% of our community said it's going to be sell the news. So very proud of everyone. All right, let's quickly discuss snow today. Snow was again, I had discussed this snow setup yesterday as well. That was our snow swing. Yesterday I told everyone that swing is on the move. My target is 125. This swing we have been talking about in last few days. I also posted it many days ago. If you see here, this was my idea on Twitter as well. Look here, right? 107 is your risk. This area is your buy. Wherever you bought it, that even if you're risking $5, $6, $7, today it turned into a bigger run. I can just show you the chart here on snow, right? So you risk $7, you're already making $12 to $13, already double your reward. I did put this in the swing chart as well in our community right here. This is my swing alerts tab where I share my swing ideas. So that was a snow, beautiful trade, repeatable setup. Understand these weekly setups, this range reversals over the clouds. One thing to note is that snow was pushing over all the MTF clouds. You need MTF clouds to turn bullish for your swings to work. So you see how we turned over the 1 hour right here, 20 MTF and then 55 MTF, and look at the run on snow. Still holding the snow. Nice trade, day trade, swing trade, nice winner for us. All right, next one we're going to look at is Micron. Micron is a similar setup. We added Micron swing the other day. It broke here. We stopped out yesterday at 101.40s. Then it held and bounced again. Then we added it again at 101.30s yesterday. And I said, Micron, I can show you here. Yeah, added back 101.20s, stops 100. So you can see this. This is my Wednesday idea. And then we added, and look today, it pushed right over the MTF clouds. Micron, there you go, right? So that's the beauty. of the system. So you can see that how it is working. Look here, this was the MTF holding support. That's why specifically right at the open I mentioned that, that Micron is swing working this time, move stops 101, home run. So both these swings, you can see that even if I go to Micron daily chart, you can see that it's based upon the reversal setup, right? Reversal setup. You can even draw a downtrend line here, reversing all the clouds. The trend is reversing. There's some kind of chart pattern, some kind of consolidation. So those are the repeatable swing setups that I teach you. I often tweet about them. They always same pattern. So that's why you will, of course, the environment is very nice right now. There's a lot of rotation happening into some of the beaten down names. So that's why these are two winning swings this week. Micron and Snow didn't take too long. All right, next one we're going to look at Tesla. So let's see what were we doing on Tesla. So Tesla was a short for us all day in the morning. You can see that. You can see my guidance here. Tesla short under MTF. If you want to look at the levels there, here are the levels. Right here where you go, right here, 241, 240, 50. So short under the MTF cloud, and the short from 241.50 went to 234. Beautiful trade. That was on the short side, and as soon as it started to right here, when I got out of the short, right here 10 a.m. right, our profit taking time, we shorted at 241 and we got covered 234s right here. After I covered the short, it rallied up. So with the system, right, we don't blindly buy just because it's a battery day or no, the robotaxi day. It says short, we short it, right? You can see all my comments here, no hindsight, all the comments before and after. Beautiful trade, Tesla short, and of course you could long it later as well, where C minus here and here. But Tesla was beautiful, right? Definitely amazing trade all day. Pretty good here. All right, next one we're going to talk about DPZ, Domino Pizza. Domino Pizza was good. I mean, it was at the morning short was good, but then it popped back, so we had to stop out whatever was left. So here was a plan for Domino's Pizza, long only for 11 holds and MTF push. So once it broke this 411, I was interested in the short, and I told everybody short, and then it did flush, right? If you were fast enough, it did flush at 400, covered some there. You see that I told it cover some at 400, but that it came back. So I was giving the warnings when it was not breaking 400s. I was giving the warnings, so we had to stop out after to reclaim this 412. Didn't really work because we didn't really took too much profit, so it was loser to scratch setup, and later even it didn't hold, so it kind of chopped both ways. But we'll be watching it tomorrow. See what it does. But today was definitely not a good on DPZ. It was good if you long versus 400 psychological level, but overall if you've completely ignored the amateur move, trend move would have paid you C minus. You see, this is amateur move and this is a trend move that I teach you every day. So that was DPZ. So First Solar, let's look at First Solar. So First Solar was our short today. Let's see what was the plan in the community. Watch pops for short. At the open, I told everybody that's a short. I gave a pre-market planning as well. You can see that rate cut play. Jeffries cut the PT, 220 support, 220 resistance. In the pre-market, I told everyone bearish bias to short the pops, right? Because inflation was increasing and market was a little heavy, CPI came higher. Usually First Solar gets worried with that because CPI higher, rates won't be cut, so First Solar will probably won't work if they don't cut the rates. So that's why First Solar was our short pre-market plan. Guidance to short it. Target, I gave a bunch of targets, 208, 207, 205s, all of the target met. Still heavy. Tomorrow it can see 200 as well. Beautiful trade, First Solar. All right, let's next look at NVDA. So what was NVDA doing? So NVDA was long today. NVDA was a long today. I talked about that. Not right here, but NVIDIA was a long right here, the flag breakout. So you could trade that from 133 to 135. There was a 135 seller all day. I kept talking about it. I even tweeted about the seller a few times. Every time it hit, it pushed back. A lot of traders shorted C minus 135 to 134 made $1, 135 to 134 made $1. So these kind of tools help you. You know, we have these free tools. You can buy your own as well if you want, but these kind of tools help you to understand where to take profits, how to manage risk. So NVIDIA was definitely a good long for 133, and then, you know, 135 we managed the risk well, but, you know, couldn't get over 135. If tomorrow it gets over 135, tomorrow it's going to break out towards 140. So will be interesting to see what is. Tomorrow is a lot of Friday, so we'll definitely be interested to see how it does. So next step we're going to see is CELH, and CELH, this was also on our game plan. You can see that CELH, I highlighted it, day 2 setup, long over 31.75, so short under it, right? So it pulled back, held the clouds. This was our repeatable 512 cloud pullback setup, and kudos to Win with the guidance today all day on CELH. He was on top of CELH since morning. You can see that CELH is holding full. CELH, good risk to long 32.33, and then I came in with some guidance on CELH as well. Traded, you know, the flag, there was a flag breakout setup on CELH right here. That kind of paid $1, and it also ran from the 32 this cloud level. It was a nice win on CELH as well. You can see the timestamp guidance, and that was CELH. Let's go next. So let's look at the next one. So the next one we're going to talk about is Costco. So Costco was also a short today, because Costco was our, you know, it was our day 2 setup. It was also day 2, day 3, but we had it on game plan. So Costco, you see bunch of upgrades, 908, 906. I said long if clouds hold, short under 906. This was my game plan. I gave the game plan in the pre-market to everyone. And what did Costco do? Costco broke our EMA clouds right away, and Costco faded all the way from that 906 level to 891 level, guys. You can see that my first target I gave was 900, and as I said, if 900 doesn't hold, it's gonna go to 890, and MTF was our target. So no BS, no hindsight. Pre-market planning given to you, worked as the pre-market plan. You select what you want to trade. A+ setups, bigger the range, better the setups. So next setup we're going to discuss is Nike. Nike was just want to point out like importance of day 3 setups, right? So Nike has been running. I was talking about it yesterday. You see that how it's gapping up, and once it breaks the cloud, it was a nice fade. So always keep eyes on those runners. If they gap up, keep running, and they break the clouds, they usually give you you know, good short setups as well. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. Don't want to take it too long. Just wanted to talk about this few important setups we had today. A lot of Friday tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.